is something that is very offensive to Indian people, and that is to use the word squaw. I have several Facebook pages. One of them is called Lakota Star Knowledge Spirituality. Another one's called Lakota Spirituality, and there's a lady liked one. This woman is from America, and I don't know if she's Indian. Something tells me she's not, because usually today most Indians know that this word is really offensive. Um, and it's the word squaw. She has her name on her Facebook page, and then under it, in parentheses, she says it has golden squaw. And this is telling me this lady doesn't know too much about Native American ways, as this word is incredibly disrespectful. This word comes from a much larger word. It's from the Algonquin language. These are Indians who lived in the Great Lakes region. I don't know which one, Lake Erie, the one that's kind of further east. Yeah. The Indians that lived there, they were some of the first Indians that came in contact with the French trappers that were coming through, the mountain men, yeah? And what some of them were doing, a lot of these mountain men were not good men. And what they were doing is they were, they would trade with the local Indians, and they would even learn their language, and they would trade for goods. And a lot of times these mountain men, they would instead of giving goods to the Indians, they gave them alcohol. They gave the men alcohol, and they would drink with them. And then the men would say, we want more of this, and we're having a good time, and stuff like this. And previously they were trading utensils like knives and maybe food even. Yeah, they would be trading with these French trappers. And so now these French trappers are trading alcohol. They're giving alcohol to the Indians, and then the Indians are giving, like furs and stuff like that. But what's resulting here is that the Indian children are going hungry because the men just want to get drunk. They're becoming alcoholic. Now, American Indian people and Asian people are missing a certain chromosome or protein or something like that everyone else in this world has. And because we don't have this certain thing, it's really easy for us to get drunk, and it's much easier for us to become alcoholic than the rest of the world. So Indians were starting to become alcoholic, and they would do anything for that alcohol. And they started selling their daughters to these French trappers for more alcohol. So these French trappers would buy these young Indian women with alcohol, and then they would sell these women to other French trappers. So they had a prostitution, sex slave trade happening back in the 1700s. Yeah? And so they would call these women cunts. For those of you that don't know what a cunt is, that's a really derogatory word for the vagina. And they would use the Algonquin word in describing these women. And it's a long word. So then they shortened that word to the last syllable, which is squaw. Yeah, the last syllable of that word for vagina in the Algonquin language is squaw. So these trappers we're now seeing these women, Indian women, as sex slaves, and they call them squaws. So this is an incredibly derogatory term toward American Indian women. And so I find it very, very disturbing that this lady is using, she's calling herself a golden squaw, and she's probably thinks she's really cool. She's got a bunch of Indian things on her Facebook page, yeah, and but yet she's using the word squaw. So this says everything to me that this lady is not sincere. Yeah, she's in one of her posts. She's claiming that she's 75% Native. Then she should know better. Yeah, to use the word squaw is like calling all Indian women whores. Yeah, including your mother and your grandmother and your daughter and your sisters. Yeah, so this is really not a good word to use. So I'm just educating everyone out there concerning this word. Don't use that word. That is a derogatory word. Yeah, just like the word nigger is derogatory towards black people. The word squaw is the same kind of derogatory towards Native American women. So if you don't say nigger, don't say squaw, because that's a bad word. That's really a bad word. Even if you hear it in music, like there's an old country singer that a lot of Indians like called Loretta Lynn, and she always claims that she's part Indian. And then she has a song that was recorded back in the 1960s called "The Squaw is on the Warpath." And a lot of Indian women don't like that song. Yeah, and I don't know what Loretta Lynn's position is on that, because she should have known better. Even Indian men in the 1960s were using this word, squaw. They tried to make it a joking thing, but I don't think that works. I think it's still disrespectful no matter what. The safest thing is don't use the word. Instead, say Indian woman, Native woman, First Nations woman, Indigenous woman. Say that instead. That sounds better anyway. Daughter of the earth. Say it like that. But don't say squaw, because that's not a good name. And there's lots of places in America that have names like that. Yeah, like Squaw Butte, Squaw Peak, Squaw Mountain, Squaw River. And now those states are changing those names because they're being educated that that's derogatory. So there's a lot of states are changing that name. So the people are learning that the word squaw is not a good word. That is a derogatory word.